Beginning of the movie, the world is now under attack by an AI terrorist named Harmon, developed by Shepard Robotics and raised alongside Atlas. To combat this, countries all over the world decided to create the International Coalition of Nations to organize a counterforce against AI terrorism. Because of this, AI terrorist Harlan escaped Earth and found another planet. But he promised that he would avenge and go back to Earth. The forces of ICN entered a dilapidated building in search of a very important AI soldier. They scanned the surroundings and found the man. However, they did not expect his power, and he effortlessly outskilled all of them. Just when he thinks he can win, the authorities have another weapon. This weapon electrocuted the AI robot. His name is Casca, Harlan's soldier. Atlas wakes up in a house run by technology. She listens to the news while playing chess. She seems to be stressed by the news of AI incidents, especially when she saw Casca dead. She immediately dressed to leave and was greeted by an officer on her doorstep. In the headquarters of ICN, the general is talking to Colonel Elias Banks about bringing Atlas into the operation of taking down Harlan. However, Elias is doubtful of the idea, knowing Harlan is antisocial and mentally unstable. But the general insisted anyway. Atlas is then transported into the office of the general, where she is instructed to analyze the AI robot Casca. She walks into a dark room facing a suitcase on the table. The suitcase opened and revealed the head of Casca. He greeted him as if she were an old friend. But Atlas gave no emotion. She continued hacking into his system until she found the location of Harlan. Casca tried killing Harlan, but this did not work, and before she left the room, Atlas killed Casca. The people applauded Agent Atlas Shepard for her work. Atlas was frustrated when her coffee was messed up. The general talks to Atlas and tells her that the coalition will not kill Harlan, but will need him alive to study his programming. This is when Elias Banks finally met Atlas. Atlas questions the idea of capturing Harlan on a foreign planet, which he is more familiar with. However, Colonel Elias showed him the AI robot Zoe, and explained that using neural links which Atlas' mom invented, they will have a chance against Harlan. But Zoe opposes the idea, but she bravely said she wants to be in the mission, being the top AI analyst and the only one who can read Harlan. The mission took off and passed the barrier guarding the Earth. Atlas spends her time inside her room on the ship, looking at the picture of her and her mom with Harlan. She throws a photo and the hologram shows her mother speaking, explaining the concept of neural links, joining the power of AI and humans to create powerful beings. She asked the machine for coffee, but it refused. Suddenly, Colonel Elias called her to do the briefing about the planet they were about to land on using paper. The planet they will land on has a toxic atmosphere and is unstable, and Harlan chose it for them to have a slim chance of survival. Atlas was very emotional in doing the briefing, and because she is unstable, Colonel continued the briefing. The planet is called GR39. Atlas Shepard, an AI analyst, warns Colonel Elias Banks of the possible danger they may face. That there is always a trap, and Harlan is always one step ahead of them. But Colonel Elias is confident. As he gets ready to take off with the AI robot Zoe, an explosion outside of the ship happened. They are now under attack by AI robots. The entire ship exploded, and Atlas was about to get blown into the atmosphere, but she was saved by the Colonel and placed in the ARC, an AI robot. She doesn't know how to use it, and she is now flying aimlessly into the atmosphere. Her chance of survival is very low, and she doesn't know what to do. AI robots are fighting beside her, the ICN forces against Harlan's army. She is about to get crashed into the ship. Fortunately, she was saved by the Colonel. The only way she can be saved is if she will neurosync with the AI robot. Which she did not want to do so, she plummeted deep down the planet. She woke up with blood on her head, and she has no idea where she is. The AI robot she is inside is her only company, and she doesn't know how to operate it. She tried paging the mission control, but to no avail. She had an emotional breakdown and tried to search for a way to operate the robot, but her only option was for them to neurosync. She asked where the rescue pod was, and it was still 90 kilometers away. So she asked the robot for the fastest way to get there. However, they cannot fly, or else Harlan's robots can attack them. So she decided to operate the robot to walk. They started to traverse the unfamiliar planet. The name of the robot is Smith, who requires neural links to function powerfully. However, Atlas is stubborn. She would rather die on the planet than link with an AI. She is terrified of being scanned by an AI. They walk until they reach the forest where they see another few rangers, however it is already destroyed and the ranger is dead. Similar others can be found around the area. Atlas knew this was Harlan's fault. Upon knowing, she immediately panicked and had an emotional breakdown. They had no choice but to accept the fact and gather the tags of those who were fallen. They saw another suit. It was Zoe, however, Colonel Bax who rode it cannot be found. Suddenly they saw Casca. She had already killed him, but Harlan made another version of him. They discovered that they were surrounded by 6 AI soldiers. There was heavy fighting between Atlas and the forces of Harlan. Despite the frustrating scenario, Atlas is still not convinced to link with the AI. They run until they encounter an atmospheric storm, which swirls them around. The unstable climate of the planet renders them helpless. When they got out of the storm, they were tossed into a forest and the AI soldiers continued to chase them. There is no choice but to deploy an ion bomb, even if it's not recommended. However, Casca was still alive. But because of the ion bomb, a sinkhole was formed and they collapsed to the bottom of the ground. Atlas had an injury. Her bone stuck out of her leg, so the AI robot operated to heal her. After that, he saw the tags of his fallen comrades. She decided to neurolink with Smith, the AI robot. With them linked together, they are now powerful, but they are not yet fully linked. Meanwhile, Casca is alive, and he reported the incident to their headquarters, where Harlan held Elias Banks hostage. Back on the sinkhole, Atlas and Smith are slowly sinking, and they were able to get out of the sinkhole. They walk out of the cave, where Casca is already waiting for them. Upon knowing that Casca is already there, they deploy the mines and watch it explode. It created an avalanche which they survived. Despite this, Casca's dad is still alive, but Atlas is determined to kill him twice this time. After killing Caxa, they scan if they are near Harlan's camp. Atlas wants them to go straight into the camp, but Smith warns her that they need to charge him first. She refused to follow Smith, and so the robot had to stop her from getting out of the suit. During this time, she had a flashback from her childhood, remembering bits of memory of her mother and Harlan. She told Smith why it was necessary to go to Harlan camp first, and so both of them walked towards it, only for a glance before going to the rescue pod. They planted a device to identify the location. However, while they are investigating Harlan's camp, they have a glimpse of the Dieb, the mothership. They wanted to get close, and this is when the forces of Harlan noticed them. They were attacked, and Atlas was captured. This is when her signal reached the ICN on Earth. She was bound by chain and then brought to prison. This is where Harlan revealed everything. Harlan believes that humanity is cruel and that he is the solution. He will commit full-on genocide and wipe out humanity by using a bomb. This is when Atlas realizes that everything is going according to Harlan's plan, including capturing her to get the code. He then placed Atlas on the table and, using a sharp object, retrieved the code in order to breach the shield guarding Earth and deploy a bomb. There is only 5 minutes left before Harlan runs out of oxygen and dies. When there seems no hope, Colonel Elias asked where Smith was. Atlas told him he was still in the building and that he was hacked and powered down. But Colonel said that an AI robot cannot be fully powered down, and all that is needed is a neurolink. She used Colonel Elias's neurolink since hers is already low on battery. She tried her best to summon Smith, but one thing was still needed. They had to sync fully. Up until now, they haven't. To fully sync, Atlas needs to trust Smith. To do this, she has to let go of her greatest trauma. And this is when it was revealed that Atlas was the one who broke Harlan's code. She was always jealous of him because her mother, the creator of Harlan, always got her attention. One day, she begged him to make her more like Harlan. They did this through a neurolink that damaged Harlan's code. It made him more powerful, and he was able to control Atlas's mother and his fellow AI, Casca. Harlan then controls Atlas's mother to get the gun and kill Atlas. She was able to run away, but her mother was unable. All her life, Atlas blamed herself for this, but Smith told her she could not solely blame herself for everything. And when she trusted Smith, they fully sync 100%. They then devise a plan to stop the rocket launch of Harlan going to Earth. The AI robot upgraded himself while Colonel Elias also got ready to fight. Smith was able to outthink and outsmart every AI solider of Harlan. Bullets are raining as they get passed by several soldiers. They found an exit and tried to get to the rocket launch the fastest. If they can't get to the launch on time, Irath will be destroyed. Just then she saw Colonel Elias ready to blow the spot. But this will also mean he will die. The place exploded and Atlas and Smith ran for their lives. However, there is still one obstacle. Atlas ran the evasive scenarios and in one shot destroyed all the weapons of Harlan. Just as when she is celebrating, she sees Harlan walking and he attempts to distract them. Meanwhile, it is too late for them to destroy the ship it was already taking off. Smith is still processing the data that will allow them to fire on the vulnerable spit of the ship. Harlan continues to fire at them, while Atlas is firm on her decision that she will take the shot. The AI robot is still processing the data. The shot was successful, and the rocket was destroyed. It started raining fire. Just as when Atlas is about to run, Atlas stops because she knows Harlan is always ahead of her. Harlan tries to capture Atlas one last time. There was fighting between them, and Harlan was very skilled. He sliced the arm of the AI robot, but Atlas is also trying to find a way to fight. Her oxygen is already depleting and Harlan is still not giving up. Smith told her that this was like chess and it was her move. She familiarizes with Harlan's move, and when she does, she pulls him closer and crushes him down. Harlan did not expect it. She tries to kill him, but Harlan summons his weapon back. Atlas lost consciousness, and Smith tried to revive it. Smith is trying his best, while Harlan continues to destroy him. However, this is not the end. Atlas woke up, and from behind, killed Halran. She retrieved his CPU and avenged the lives of people lost because of Harlan. When she was already determined that they would make it on time on the rescue pod, Smith told Atlas they could not, and that needs to shut down to keep her alive, because his protocol was to keep his ranger alive. Atlas didn't want this, but there is no choice. Smith began shutting down to give Harlan more time. At the end of the movie, Atlas is rescued and finally back on Earth. She created another version of an AI robot similar to Smith and is now ready to serve the planet together with AI robots. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.